Welcome back to Ready Steady Play. I'm here with my buddy Gary today to play Lost Patrol.
Hello.
Gary's not been on the channel before, so he's new, but he's responsible for these brilliantly painted miniatures. I'm not going to say that's the only reason I've got you on here, but I was very self-serving. It was my ulterior motive to get your beautiful models onto my table.
Excellent.
You also got the custom jungle bases, which I just love. These are really, really nice. But you're really into your Games Workshop games, right, Gary?
Yep. Been interested in Games Workshop since I was like 13. So.
I feel like that's the story for a lot of people here in the UK. Mm-hmm. Sort of an introduction to like tabletop gaming and hobby gaming and stuff like that through Games Workshop.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I had Warhammer, and I had 40,000 when I was a kid. I had Blood Bowl as well. And we had Hero Quest.
Yeah, I think Blood Bowl is probably my favourite game at Games Workshop. Yeah, just can't get enough of it.
Oh, but it's so infuriating sometimes.
It's part of the game is like willing the game to not give you like double skulls or ones, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I could probably rant about Blood Bowl for hours, so maybe let's avoid that topic. Come back to Lost Patrol. This is a recent reprinting of an older game.
Yep. The previous version of Lost Patrol had the 5 scouts, but all the Genestealers were tokens. The new version comes with the 3D models, makes it that little bit prettier.
Yeah, it does look very very pleasing on the table here. Obviously, you've done some work here as well. And they come in different colors of plastic as well, right? So if you don't paint them, you can still sort of...
Yeah, it comes in like a dark blue for the Genestealers and red for the Blood Angels. So
do you think this is Games Workshop trying to just sort of get their claws into you a bit? And be like, start collecting. Look, here's some models to get you started.
Yeah, you know, they're pretty easy to assemble, these ones. These are like one of their least complicated builds, you know. So it's basically just stick the arms on with some glue. So, yeah, it's a good entry game.
Well, it's a good entry game, but it's in typical Games Workshop style, incredibly difficult.
It's frustratingly difficult. Like, no one's ever beaten this game. I think if anyone says they've beaten it, that man's a liar.
Right. Put video on YouTube or it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So it's I guess keeping with a theme here, because I will have just posted up Dungeon Quest on our channel, which was that was an interesting adventure as well. That was another Games Workshop game, but I say it was their game. They produced it, but they didn't design it. But that was also very, very difficult, although not as difficult as this. I mean, in Dungeon Quest, you've got 15% chance of survival. I don't know what the odds are in this.
I've not done the math, but it's like 0.0001% chance. Like, play 1,000 games before you'll get that possibility of a win.
But you tried some different sort of house rule variants to make it a bit more balanced, and you were saying you found it became too easy.
Yeah, just some simple changes, like the Marines always, when they shoot, kill on a 6, which seems like very low odds, so we changed that to a 5. And the Marines were almost romping through the jungle, killing Genestealers everywhere. That percentage change just made it too easy for the Marines. We did a few other things, like the Genestealer players get 3 actions per turn. We tried changing it to 2 actions, and again that just made it that bit too easy for the Marines. But somewhere out there is a good balance for it. We just haven't found that yet. Right.
So you talked about Genestealers and Marines killing each other. So this is, I guess, this is the essence of this game, right? This is the Lost Patrol here.
Sure, yeah.
And they've not got to kill Genestealers, right? That's not their actual objective.
Yeah, their objective is they're trying to get through this jungle to find the escape pod and escape.
Right, that's this thing here. It doesn't look it doesn't look like it would work. It looks like it's already broken.
Yeah, so maybe they lock themselves in there and wait for extraction or something like that. But yeah, this is where we're trying to get to. So to do that, they've got to get through this jungle, because that's the very last tile. There's no shuffling that in there. It's definitely all of this before you get rescued.
Right, so you've got to get all of those tiles out on the board.
Yep. And as a Genestealer player, I basically do jungle management. I'll be like doing the maintenance as you move through it, removing the old bits of jungle and putting in the new bits of jungle. And
Trying to make it as difficult as possible for me.
yeah, that's my plan. And let's start. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So you've also got these little infection tokens here, just to sort of explain what those are. Or they're infestation tokens, right?
Okay, so they're new to this edition. One of the actions a Genestealer player could choose to do is put that down on a tile where there's already a Genestealer, and then more Genestealers can spawn from the infestation marker. Because normally they have to come in from the end of the jungle.
But they're never used.
I've not used them yet. We could try and use it.
Just to
It seems to flirt. Like it's the Genestealers already have quite an easy job. They didn't really need this extra perk to get closer to the Marines.
But yeah, we were talking about this before, and we were saying there's a lot of sort of benefits the Genestealers get to help them out, which they don't really need.
Yeah, it's like a lot of the little rules that have been thrown in when they were designing it. They decided, well, we could do it this way, which will help the Marines, or we'll do it this way, which helps the Genestealers, and they always seem to pick the option which is benefiting the Genestealers.
Right, to just make it as hard as possible.
Yeah, these guys are going to have to try really hard to stay alive.
Oh, it's not going to happen.
Okay.
Alright, so I feel like the success in this game is measured by how far down this pile you get.
Sure, yeah.
So why don't we put out the starting tiles? Because we start in this
Okay.
clearing here, which is the only tile in the game that has
6 exits. Yeah.
6 exits, exactly. And the way it works is we can see straight down any sort of path in the jungle. So we'll start by putting out 6 tiles here to represent the sort of the scout's line of sight.
So it's a turn.
And so this one turns off here, so I can't see any further down that path into the
this
jungle.
one.
Yep.
And it's another turn. So do that.
So this has become a dead end,
Yeah.
which is actually okay because it means Genestealers can't spawn there.
Alright, so I'm going to do this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a T-junction.
Okay.
So I'll go to this one. It's a T-junction with Tangleweed.
So Tangleweed is basically just harsher jungle, thorny jungle with
Yeah.
plants that have mouths.
When you try to move out of it, you got to roll a dice, and it's a 50-50 whether you're going to succeed or you're going to be tangled and stay for another turn.
And then that movement action is wasted. If you get tangled up, it's not like, well, I'll do the shoot action or whatever. That's a wasted move.
That move is wasted, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then it's a dead end.
Okay, that's good. No more Genestealers coming that way either.
And it's a turn which faces in, so it'll be a dead end as well.
Okay. I guess that's good. I'm not really
So you
sure.
get 3 dead ends, and then you can go this way.
Unfortunately, I can't just go into the dead ends and hide.
Alright, so now it's the Space Marine player, off he goes.
Off he goes, right. So I can't, what I can't do is keep all 5 of them on the same space like this. Going forward, I'll only be able to have a maximum of 3 per space.
Yeah.
Also, unfortunately, my movement is quite limited in this particular turn because there's not any sort of corridors or throughways in the jungle where I've been able to see more than 1 tile ahead. So I can really... And a movement action, I can move 2 tiles, but I can't because there's not enough. So I can go 1 up to here. Let's send this man up there too. There's 1. Well, I don't know, Genestealers might be good. Let's send this man up there. That's a 1 movement. I don't get a bonus when I'm being attacked by Genestealers for having more men, right? I only get a penalty if I have 1.
Yeah.
So we might as well move this man up as well then. I think, does he go up or shall he stay here? And then the heavy can cover them.
So the heavy will be covering these guys, but obviously not those ones.
Right, and we'll reveal tiles on either side. Oh. Okay, well let's leave the heavy here to cover these guys as they plow ahead then. Wait a minute. No, oh, whatever. Let's just go for it, Gary.
Okay, so back to the Genestealer player. I would first remove any pieces of jungle that your Marines aren't going to be able to see with 1 move action.
Yeah.
Which is nothing at the moment. And then I place the new tiles. So I'll go here. It's a twist, so I'm going to feed it back in on itself.
Right, and that's a legal placement because the path is
Yeah.
complete. But if that had been a dead end there, you couldn't actually place that way,
No,
could you?
you would have to place it facing out.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so then this one, and it's a bend off to the sides. We'll do that.
Okay.
Alright, and then I get 3 actions with the Genestealers. So an action can be to place a Genestealer, so I can place up to 3. Or it could be to move Genestealers. I can move 1 Genestealer up to 3 squares, 2 Genestealers, 2 squares, or 3 Genestealers, 1 square. As an action. So I'm going to just be brutal. I'm going to place 3 Genestealers right here. Straight into combat.
So the problem I've got with this particular board setup here is that there's actually really nowhere for me to go except through Tangleweed now. Unless I can kill those Genestealers, which I can't probably do that. And the Tangleweed is pretty bad as well. So now we're going to do an assault, right?
Yeah.
So the assault happens because the Genestealers are next to the Marines. So the Genestealers and the Marines will never share tiles, but they'll have combat when they're adjacent to each other. Exactly right. And you've got a combined strength of 6, 2 for each Genestealer.
Yeah.
So I've got to roll a 5 or 6.
You also get +1 because the heavy bolter guy is giving you covering fire.
Right. So
you get +1 for the sergeant because he's got a sword.
Very good.
So you get +2.
+2. So I need to roll a 4 to draw.
Yeah.
Which means that I get pushed back, which would be bad, I think, because I think then 2 of my guys... No, I could be pushed back to here, right? But you would choose.
I choose where you get pushed back to.
But you would have to choose this one, right? Or could you choose that one and just kill 2 guys?
I probably could do that. I'd be nice. I'd pick you there.
Oh, thanks, Gary. Alright, here we go.